Hey everyone, so let's talk about one of the most common things we write in C# over and over and over again, the constructor. We're going to dive into a C# 12 feature called Primary Constructors, and I promise it's designed to make your code way cleaner, a lot leaner, and just so much less repetitive.
Seriously, if you're a C# dev, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've written code that looks like this 1,000 times. You know the drill. You declare some fields, then you write a constructor just to assign values to those fields. Well, it turns out C# 12 has a brilliant fix for that boilerplate.
Okay, so before we get to the cool new solution, let's just all get on the same page and look at the problem. We need to remember the old way we've been doing this for years, the classic traditional class constructor.
And here it is, our simple version class. There's nothing really wrong with this code, right? We've got two private fields, underValue and underName. Then we have a public constructor, and its only job in the entire world is to take in two parameters and copy them over to those fields. It works, sure. It's clear, but man, it's a lot of ceremony for such a simple task, isn't it?
All right, so that was the before. Now let's get to the after. Let's see how C# 12 just elegantly cleans this whole mess up with primary constructors.
So what is a primary constructor, really? Well, at its heart, it's just a super streamlined way to declare your constructor parameters right up in the class declaration itself. You just put them right next to the class name. This means you don't need a separate constructor body just to do assignments. It makes everything clearer and way more concise. And boom, here it is, the main event. Just look at the difference. On the left, our old, clunky version class. On the right, the sleek C# 12 version. The parameters, int value, string name, are now right inside the class signature. The private fields, the whole constructor body, it's all just gone. And check this out. The version name property can now use value and name directly. It's just so incredibly clean. Now, this new syntax is obviously a huge win, but if you're looking at it and thinking, this feels familiar, well, you're not wrong. The C# team actually made a really clever move here by basing it on something you might already be using. And this is the key insight right here. Yeah, seeing parameters on a class declaration might feel a little weird at first. But the C# team intentionally made it look just like another feature we already have, the record type. And that makes the learning curve way, way smoother.
And here's exactly what we're talking about. If you've ever used a C# record, maybe for a DTO or something, this syntax is already in your muscle memory. It's instantly recognizable. By using this same pattern, the C# team made primary constructors feel like a totally natural part of the language, not some brand new weird thing you have to learn from scratch.
Okay, listen up, because this is the single most important part of this whole thing. The syntax looks the same, yes, but they absolutely do not act the same. You have to understand the difference between a primary constructor on a class and one on a record. It's critical.
So we've got this syntax that looks identical in two different places. But what is C# actually doing behind the scenes? Do they behave the same way? Let's break down what's really going on.
And the answer is a huge, emphatic no. They are not the same. This table lays it all out perfectly. For a class, the primary constructor creates private, changeable fields. This is perfect for internal state or especially for dependency injection where you're just passing in services for the class to use internally. But for a record, it creates public, immutable properties. This is what you want for simple data carriers like DTOs where the data isn't supposed to change. This is the whole ball game right here.
Okay, so we've covered the what, the how, and the super important differences. So let's wrap this up by talking about the why. Why should you actually start using this in your projects like today?
The benefits are just so immediate. Your class declarations become way more concise instantly. Your code is clearer because the class's dependencies are listed right at the very top. And like we said, for dependency injection setups, oh, it's a total game changer. At the end of the day, it all comes back to that first problem. This feature just lets you kill that tedious boilerplate so you can focus on the code that actually matters.
And that's really the whole story. C# 12's primary constructors are just a fantastic, super practical addition to the language. They're not flashy, they're just designed to make our lives as developers a little bit easier. So I'll just leave you with this thought. What's the first class in your project that you're going to refactor to use this new, cleaner syntax? Thanks for tuning in.